this BYU quarterback situation is a huge story.
Yeah.
I think so. Keaton Slovis from Pitt, before that USC, and Drew Pine from Notre Dame are both in the portal. They both visit BYU.
Right.
I don't think either one of them is coming to BYU. But here's my question. Is that an upgrade if you're BYU? Are those two quarterbacks you want? And the answer is no. Keaton Slovis got beat out at USC, so he transferred. Who did he get beat out at USC by?
Jackson Dart.
Local kid, Jackson Dart. Beat him out. Jackson leaves, goes to Ole Miss. Keaton Slovis, where, by the way, Jackson Dart's the starting quarterback at Ole Miss for Lane Train.
Yeah.
Keaton Slovis goes to Pitt, gets beat out, and now he's transferring again. Yeah, that's the guy I want to go after. And then there's Drew Pine. So Drew Pine, and I said this on the show all season long about Notre Dame.
Yeah, you did.
I've said it all season long.
Yep.
Drew Pine is an average quarterback. He is not going to kill you, but he's not going to win you games.
Right.
And so the coaching staff at Notre Dame told Drew Pine, hey, we're going to bring in a kid from the transfer portal. We're going to go back to our original starting quarterback, and you're going to have to compete for your job.
Facts.
So what did Drew Pine say? Nah, I'm fine. I'm going to transfer. So you want a kid who doesn't want to compete for his job. And the immediate reaction on Twitter yesterday when I tweeted that was, what is Jacob Conover? Jacob Conover did the same thing. Here's the difference between Jacob Conover and Drew Pine. Jacob Conover never got a fair shot at BYU.
Yeah.
Never. Not for 15 minutes. Go back last year at Utah State, and they didn't even let him really try to throw passes. He gets in the game this year, 0 of 1. They don't call another pass play.
Yep.
He's never getting a shot here. There is something in the coaching staff where they did not buy into Jacob Conover.
Yep.
They didn't, unfortunately, buy into Jacob Conover. And I'd have transferred too. He was never going to get a shot to play here full time. He was never going to be the starting quarterback at BYU. Drew Pine was the starting quarterback at Notre Dame, and they said to him, hey, average quarterback, we're going to make you compete for your job again. He said, nah,
all due respect,
I don't want to do that. I'm going to go transfer.
I'm going to quit.
I don't want that kid on my team. I don't want that kid on my team. Sorry, man. And I understand why all these kids are transferring now instead of playing in bowl games.
Look at quitter quarterback at Utah. This is the same thing.
And what happens? And again, I ask you to go back over the history of college football. Find me the quarterback who transfers repeatedly or even transfers once and then all of a sudden becomes a home run hitter. There's one guy that comes to mind immediately, and that is Caleb Williams. But I think you got to go back to...
But what was the difference, though?
Well, that was with his coach.
Right. So the difference is the context. The context of Caleb Williams transferring was, hey, I have this great setup with Lincoln Riley. We're a great duo, tandem, whatever word you want to use. He just went and took the SC job. So let me get this right. So I could go to, and I can make this case all day long, I could go to a school that arguably has a bigger national profile than the one I'm at.
Yep.
With the same head coach and the same system in Southern California where the weather's better. Why wouldn't I do that?
And this all goes back to the Johnny Manziels of the world. It goes back to the Bakers. It goes back to the Kylers. Joe Burrow comes to mind because Joe transferred from Ohio State. He was never going to get a shot at Ohio State. So and again, I have no problem with that. If you're in a situation where you have no chance to play, okay, go transfer.
Bo Nix?
Bo Nix, I think Bo Nix is Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is, everybody keeps saying, oh, Bo Nix is going to the NFL. He's not going to the NFL. Are you really telling me Bo Nix thinks he's going to make more money in the NFL?
Look at his transfer situation.
He's not transferring.
No. I mean, transferring from Auburn
But
to
there
Oregon.
is some thought that he may transfer.
Oh.
And I just don't understand why he would either transfer or go to the
Why
NFL.
would you?
You are a arguably a top 5 quarterback in a passing league in the Pac-12. You're not. Why would you leave? All of this to say, and we can go back and have this conversation about transfers or not or whatever. We could talk Jake Heaps all day, right? My question is, A, why does BYU want Drew Pine? Somebody help me understand that. And I guess my question is the bar high enough at BYU? Because I'm tired of talking about coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
All that crap is gone.
Yeah.
You're in the Big 12 now. But you don't act like Texas. You don't act like Oklahoma. You don't act like TCU.
Baylor.
You don't act like Baylor. You don't act like Arizona State. By the way, anybody see where Barrington transferred to? Grime time at Baylor. Right? You don't act like a big program. Well, you act like a program that's like, well, we got the honor code in the church. Better go settle for crappy Drew Pine. Because he's crappy Drew Pine.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a prolific passer.
Jaren Hall all day.
And I'm asking you, point blank as a BYU fan, point blank as a college football fan, what are you doing? Why is Drew Pine somebody that excites you? Because Drew Pine's not even in the same discussion as Jaren Hall. And the minimum bar should be Jaren Hall or better. Equal or better than Jaren Hall. Because if Jaren's not coming back next year and you're going into the Big 12, do you really think Drew Pine's going to throw you to victory? Does anybody really believe that? Because I'm telling you it's not going to happen.
When has he ever done that?
Keaton Slovis. Oh, everybody on Twitter yesterday, but look at his numbers. You know what the problem with Keaton Slovis is? What does he do in crunch time? He throws interceptions.
Yeah.
He's not mobile enough. Why did Jackson Dart beat Keaton Slovis out at USC? And most of you probably don't even know this, but I'll tell you. Because Keaton Slovis isn't exciting. Keaton Slovis isn't a guy who wears one eye patch, throws left-handed, and runs like the wind, but yet has a BB gun for an arm.
And think about how he lost his job, right? He gets hurt because he's not mobile enough. Jackson Dart comes in, takes hit after hit, playing on one leg, still making all the throws, still making all the plays, still leading you to victory. And I believe he came in against Stanford, if memory serves. Maybe it was Washington State. Comes in, leads him to victory. No problem, right? And that's my problem. You have a guy in Jaren Hall right now who you don't know if he's coming back or not, but you know he's a dynamic talent that has some health issues, but overall, pretty damn good career at BYU. And now you're going to downgrade to Drew Pine.
And the issue really is, like, I think Joe Burrow is the perfect example of this.
Yeah.
If you're going to transfer, you better go be a home run hitter.
Yep.
Joe Burrow was. Kyler Murray was. Bo Nix, frankly, this year was.
Caleb Williams.
Well, and the thing is, Caleb's got another year of eligibility before he can go to the NFL, right? He just won the Heisman Trophy.
KJ Jefferson even had a decent year.
You better go be a home run hitter. You just better. Because most of the kids that transfer are not Caleb Williams. Most of the kids that transfer are not Troy Aikman. Most of the kids that transfer are not this prolific passer of a quarterback. They're more Jake Heaps, far more Jake Heaps than they are Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And Drew Pine has Jake Heaps written all over him.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go and you're going to be quitter quarterback at Utah who lost his job at Liberty. That's who you're going to be. That's it.
Look at Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is a great example. Jalen Hurts lost his job at Alabama.
Roll Tide.
So look what he did at Oklahoma, and now look what he's turned into at Philadelphia. That's why you transfer, right? You don't transfer because they're asking you to compete for your job. Because frankly, in college football, you're competing for your job every day. Ask Jaren Hall. Did Jaren Hall transfer when he got beat by Zachy Poo? He didn't transfer. What did he do? He stood, he fought, he grew, and he developed. And now he's an NFL prospect. It's so frustrating. It is. Exactly. Bro Juro. Yes.
Bro Juro.
Bro Juro transferred. Exactly right. Arlington Bears says Bo Nix. Bo Nix went from Auburn to Oregon and lit this conference on fire. So, yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know. And maybe it's probably a waste of time. My whole point in this is, you guys, if you're a BYU football fan, hold the bar higher.
Yeah.
But
that's a Kalani thing, right? That's a Kalani thing.
It's a Utah thing. It's a Utah thing. We talk about this all the time.
To be clear, state of Utah.
State of Utah
not
thing.
Utah football.
You have to act like you are the baddest MFer on the planet. And BYU too oftentimes does not. And this is a Kalani thing. Hey, let's be nice to Wyoming, guys.
Let's not run Idaho State out of the building.
It's not embarrassing. But, Coach, he slapped me in the face. It's fine.
God bless.
It's fine. It's not fine. You're in the Big 12 now. Act like it. Have a much higher bar. You have a huge fan base. You have a big following on television. Act like it. Act like it. Frankly, if you don't go into the Big 12 believing you're the best team in the Big 12, you probably shouldn't be there. How long have
I started having second
How
thoughts.
long has BYU been going to the Austin American-Statesman begging for entry into the Big 12? Now you're there, and Drew Pine's your answer in the transfer portal? And by the way, transfer portal your ass off on defense. Let's not worry about the quarterback until, and they know if Jaren's coming back or not. And my guess is Jaren's coming back. I heard a number the other day. He made $135,000 last year in NIL.
Attaboy.
From a pretty good source. If Jaren's making $135,000 and you're coming off of another injury-plagued, especially second half, are you really going to the NFL right now? I'm thinking you're probably not. I think you're probably not. Big Dog O-Town, good morning to you, sir. Excuse my ignorance. Do you have to be of the faith as a player to play at the Y? No, you don't. You don't at all. Connor Johnson says Grayson McCall he's fantastic. I would love him. And I talked about this on Twitter yesterday. There are guys that I'd love to have in the transfer portal. And I think there's a couple. I think there's a couple that make a lot of sense to me. And I think Spencer Sanders and Grayson McCall are my top two quarterbacks in the transfer portal.
Right.
It's not even close. I mean, I think Spencer Sanders.
Does BYU have any chance at those guys? Think about it.
I don't know, but again, did the Jazz call on Kevin Durant?
No, but I'm being serious. Like I agree. They should have those guys come through, and they should call those guys and pursue those guys, and have you should definitely do that. But I often wonder if Kalani and company. And look, I know, Jay Hill, K-pop, I know we got some new voices here, right? New blood in the room. But I wonder, do the new voices in the rooms reset the bar? Do they have the ability to kind of say, hey, it hasn't been good enough, right?
I hope so.
That's why we're here. And that's what I wonder, because again, I feel like an a-hole, but I feel like I'm constantly saying, hey, great, you did this, but now what? With BYU, hey, great, you hired these guys. Now who's going to go and get the prolific quarterback
That's right.
or in Jay Hill's case, the prolific defensive ends to stop the run in the Big 12? Where is all this talent going to come from that you've talked about? I mean, Jay Hill straight up said on BYU TV the other day or whatever, hey, yeah, you got to have, we're going to have 3 down sometime and 4 down sometime, but we got to have the athletes to do that.
Yes.
Okay, great. It's time to go and find those athletes, whether it's defensive line or quarterback or wherever.
Yeah. I think perception is a problem at BYU. I don't believe that the garden variety BYU fan, player, athletic administrator, I don't think anybody at BYU views them as one of the best football programs in the country, and it's a real shame.
Yeah.
I just don't get that as
damn good marketing team.